latest around the wide world of tropics. Tropical Weather Bulletin for July 6th. Well, here we are on the 6th day of the month, and we have 3 systems active at the moment. Tropical Storm Elsa located inland over Cuba, 7W that is expected to be affecting China soon, as well as 97W that is its own threat to Hainan Peninsula, as well as Vietnam. 39 storms have formed so far this worldwide season. It's day 36 of the Atlantic hurricane season. Elsa there, inland over Cuba, it is expected to emerge into the eastern Gulf of Mexico soon. Some strengthening seems likely before it makes landfall in Florida within the next day or two. It's day 52 of Eastern Pacific hurricane season. There's nothing going on here, and nothing that is expected to form in the next 5 days there. It's all quiet here. 5 tropical storms have formed so far this Pacific hurricane season. Might be a little bit before we get our 6th. In the Western Pacific, there's 7W there, not looking great at all, and 97W that is expected to potentially affect the Hainan Peninsula and eventually Vietnam as well. So China and Vietnam both have things to monitor in the next few days. In the North Indian Ocean, really nothing going on there, and nothing that you'd expect to be going on there anyhow, considering the fact that we are, of course, in July, and there's really nothing you would be expecting to see, besides maybe a monsoonal depression or two, but other than that, really nothing that we expect for a while yet. Here is the Atlantic. You can see Elsa there pushing inland over Cuba. It is expected to enter the eastern Gulf of Mexico as previously mentioned, and it could strengthen a little more. The conditions are allowing of it to strengthen somewhat, but of course it's going to remain very lopsided for right now. In the Eastern Pacific, hardly much going on in the Eastern Pacific. The most prominent feature is something that's going on in the Central Pacific, and even then, that's not going to become anything because, of course, it is the Central Pacific, and we all know that the Central Pacific wants to remain dead for as long as it well pleases. Western Pacific, you can see 7W there, just south of Taiwan. There was a landfall that we observed earlier today, and then, of course, there is 97W to the left of your screen. It's slowly getting there, almost getting there in terms of what you could expect from a Western Pacific tropical system. It is likely that it will become a tropical storm, though. We will wait and see what happens with that. In the North Indian Ocean, not really much going on there. You can kind of see the outflow on the right from 97W there, so that's kind of interesting. Other than that, you got the average monsoonal activity, nothing really special going on there. The floater for tonight looks at Elsa as it made landfall on the Cuban coastline. It's a little ahead of it that now, and it is likely that it does exit Cuba soon enough, where its next threat will of course be Florida and the southeast in general. Several inches of rain are likely across this state and the southeast. Here are the sea surface temperatures across the Eastern Pacific. Not really much in terms of anything above 28 degrees Celsius. Looks like the 30 degrees Celsius temperatures that did peak out have receded again. The Atlantic looking pretty good in terms of sea surface temperatures, 27, 28 degrees across a majority of the basin. Little areas of 30 degrees near the Cuban coastline, and really just that region, really. Not much in terms of 30 degrees Celsius right now. In the North Indian Ocean, we're still looking at 27 to 28 degrees Celsius waters, although it looks like they're kind of receding as you get towards the coast of Oman there, where it goes down to 26. In the Western Pacific, we're looking at pretty warm temperatures, especially as you get into the South China Sea, as well as the Philippine Sea, where temperatures are a lot more towards the 30-degree isotherm there. And of course, the Southern Hemisphere is in winter mode, so really nothing that you would expect for development there, given the fact that those temperatures quickly drop off into those green contours really quickly. But in terms of sea surface temperature anomalies, we're still looking at that cold spell for the California area all the way into Hawaii there, and then of course the Gulf of Mexico even is looking a little bit below normal, and that is those waters that Elsa will be tapping to in the next few days. On this day in 1971, it was pretty chaotic with 5 systems active at once. Carlotta, Denise, Arlene, Ivy, and Harriet there. Harriet being the most notable, though, becoming a Category 4 typhoon before striking Vietnam the following day. Slightly weaker though. Carlotta was a Category 1, barely tropical storm at this point. Denise would become a major hurricane. Arlene had recently developed, and then of course Ivy would become a typhoon as it passed to the southeast of Japan. So very active day. You can find more on this powered by our Cyclone History Twitter. Well, with that, this Atlantic hurricane season of craziness so far. The next two names there are Fred followed by Grace. Let's hope we don't see that anytime soon. In the Eastern Pacific, it's Felicia followed by Guillermo. And with the Central Pacific, there's an easier question of where's Waldo rather than where's Hone. In the Western Pacific, it's Infa followed by Sempaka for the next two names. And in the North Indian Ocean, we're still looking out for Gulab and Shaheen, names we probably won't see for quite a while yet. In the Southern Hemisphere, we're looking out for Anna followed by Betsy Ray in the Southwestern Indian Ocean, Patty and Ruby in the Australian region, and Cody in the South Pacific. We'll be back for another Tropical Weather Bulletin tomorrow.